This is part 6 for the chapter Solutions. In this part, I'll be taking the topic azeotropes. But before explaining or defining azeotropes, I would like to revise non-ideal solutions. So, what are non-ideal solutions? The solutions which do not obey Raoult's law are called as non-ideal solutions. So, if we take two liquid components A and B, for A we can write PA is equal to P naught A into XA according to Raoult's law. For this we can take PB is equal to P naught B into XB. If this is not equal, then the solutions do not obey Raoult's law. So accordingly, if PA is greater than P naught A XA, we go for positive deviation from Raoult's law. If same thing we can take for PB also, PB greater than P naught B into XB, we'll take only one. If we go for PA less than P naught A into XA, then it shows your negative deviation. Moreover, delta V mixing greater than 0, delta H mixing greater than 0 for positive deviation, delta V mixing less than 0, delta H mixing less than 0 for negative deviation. Accordingly, we have taken the graph like this. These dotted lines give your Raoult's law, vapor pressures, P naught A, P naught B. This is mole fraction. Here also we take P naught B, P naught A. Now for positive deviation, we have a bulged out graph for individual vapor pressures and for total vapor pressure. For negative deviation, we have depressed graphs, same for total vapor pressure and for individual vapor pressure. Now dotted lines give the graph for ideal solutions and the solid lines give for non-ideal solutions. This is positive deviation, this is negative deviation. So when we observe this graph at a particular point, this is the total pressure for the mixture. So at a particular point, the vapor pressure is highest for the mixture. This is for positive deviation. And here at a particular point or mole fraction or composition, the total vapor pressure is lowest. If vapor pressure is highest, the mixture will boil at lower temperature. If vapor pressure for the mixture is lowest, the boiling point or the mixture will boil at a elevated temperature. Now we will link these things with the topic azeotropes. Let me define azeotropes now. Azeotropes are liquid mixtures. Liquid mixture mean both the components or solute and solvent both are liquids. These are liquid mixtures with definite compositions which boils like a pure liquid. Now it is found that When we observe the graph for positive deviation or we go through the values, it is found that at one of the intermediate compositions, the total vapor pressure is highest and hence the boiling point is lowest. For negative deviation from Raoult's law, the total vapor pressure is lowest and boiling point is highest. For liquid pairs of such intermediate composition, the composition of the liquid and vapor phases is the same. So for azeotrophs, the liquid phase composition is equal to vapor phase composition for that particular composition. So azeotrophs are the type of liquid mixtures having a definite composition and boiling like a pure liquid. Now when we go for the graph for these constant boiling mixtures or azeotrophs, positive deviation corresponds to minimum boiling azeotrophs. Negative deviation mixtures correspond to maximum boiling azeotrophs. The examples for positive deviation azeotrophs are alcohol water system. We took the example ethanol and water. And for negative deviation we took acid water system. So we take nitric acid and water as the example. Now the graph is in between temperature, as we will go for boiling points, temperature and percentage. Obviously the vapor pressure of vapor runs over that of liquid. So at this particular temperature, or this temperature is the lowest than that of this and then this. So I take here the system water and then ethanol. Here water 0, ethanol 100, and then slowly water 100 and then ethanol 0. So at this composition, water is 4.6% and ethanol is 95.4%. The boiling point for water is 373 Kelvin, 100 degrees Celsius. So in terms of Kelvin, it is 373 Kelvin. The boiling point for ethanol is 351.3 Kelvin. And this point where we get minimum boiling point azeotrophs, at this particular composition, that is 4.6% of water and 95.4% of ethanol, the boiling point is lower than that of water as well as ethanol, and that is 351.15. So 373 is the Kelvin, is the boiling point of water. 351.3 Kelvin is the boiling point of ethanol, and the boiling point for the liquid mixture at the composition 4.6% water and 95.4% ethanol is 351.15 Kelvin. Similarly, when we go for maximum boiling point azeotrophs, we take the example water and nitric acid. Here is 0, 100, and this is 100 and then 0 percentage we have taken. So the graph goes like this. This side we have taken temperature. So water boils at 373 Kelvin. Nitric acid boils at 359 Kelvin. But at this particular composition, water is 32% and nitric acid is 68%. At this particular composition, 32% of water and 68% of nitric acid, the mixture boils at 393.5 Kelvin, which is higher than that of water as well as nitric acid. So, for water ethanol system, at a percentage of 4.6% water and 95.4% of ethanol, the mixture boils at 351.15 Kelvin, that is minimum than that of water and less than that of water and also ethanol. For water nitric acid system, the mixture at a composition of at a percentage of 32% water and 68% nitric acid, this composition, the mixture boils at 393.5 Kelvin. Again, I want to repeat, non-ideal solutions are of two types, positive deviation, negative deviation. Positive deviation corresponds to minimum boiling point azeotrophs and continue. Negative deviation corresponds to maximum boiling azeotrophs. Now the next topic, what I'll take now is solid solutions. It's a very small topic which we'll also cover in the chapter solids. Solid solutions are those solutions in which both the components are solids. These are classified into two types. So here solid solution, this is solute and this is solvent. Now when we go for these kinds of solutions, they are classified into two types. Number one is substitutional solid solutions and the second category is interstitial solid solutions. What are substitutional solid solutions? Substitutional solid solutions are brass, bronze, steel, etc. What are interstitial solid solutions? It's tungsten carbide, in which tungsten atoms are arranged at face-centered cubic lattice and the carbon atoms occupy the octahedral voids. So let me explain the substitutional solid solutions. If some atoms, ions or molecules of any solid present at the lattice sites are replaced by some foreign atoms, ions or molecules of another similar solid having similar size, then the solid solution which is obtained is called as substitutional solid solutions. So if I have a lattice like this, so suppose I have taken this piece of solid made up of these kind of ions or atoms. Then if suppose this one which I have kept the tick, these are some other foreign atoms having the similar size, then this solid solution is called as substitutional solid solutions. The lattice sites of a given solid is replaced by some other constituent atoms, ions or molecules of some other solid. Interstitial solid solutions are formed when the interstitial sites or the voids present in between, these are interstitial sites or voids, are occupied by some other atoms, ions of smaller size. We can get a thing like this arrangement. These are graph. If some foreign atom will occupy the voids, these are the voids which I have kept the tick. If such is the case, the solid solution is called as interstitial solid solutions. Now the next topic I'll be taking is the most important one, on which the properties of solutions depend, that is the colligative properties. The most important topic in the chapter solutions is solutions of solids in liquids. This is the third category. Solids are non-volatile solutes. Liquids are volatile solvent. Here we should know what is solubility. The solubility of a solid in a given liquid at any temperature can be defined as the maximum amount of the solid in grams which can dissolve in 100 gram of the liquid to form saturated solution. To form a saturated solution. Solubility is the maximum amount of the solid solute that can be dissolved in 100 gram of the liquid solvent at any temperature to form a saturated solution is called solubility. The factors on which the solubility depends on, first factor is nature of solute and solvent, and the second factor on which the solubility of the solid depends upon is temperature. So the first factor can be explained like this. All of us know like dissolves like. That means polar solutes are dissolving or will dissolve in polar solvents. Polar can be taken as ionic compounds in solvents like water. Non-polar solutes, your covalent compounds, are easily soluble in non-polar solvents. You can take the example of covalent compounds. Non-polar solvents like benzene. We can give the example of common salt, your NaCl, an ionic compound, is easily soluble in water. But sugar is C12H22O11. Your sucrose is less soluble in water than NaCl, which is ionic. Sugar is covalent. Now, iodine, which is a covalent substance, is more soluble in alcohol than in water. So, NaCl is more soluble in water than sugar. Iodine is more soluble in alcohol than in water. The second factor which affects is temperature. So we have different kinds of substances. The first category is the solubility increases. Then the second category, solubility decreases. And the third category, there is no effect on solubility. So for few compounds, with the increase in temperature, solubility increases. For few compounds, with the increase in temperature, solubility decreases. And for few compounds, even if we increase or decrease the temperature, there is no effect on solubility. So for the solubility, increase of solubility, we can give the example of NaNO3, KNO3. Here, the process of dissolution of these substances is endothermic. That means when the process of dissolution is endothermic, solubility increases. When the process is exothermic, solubility decreases. We can take the example of sodium carbonate monohydrate. For this particular compound, solubility decreases with increase of temperature. For the compounds where there is no effect on solubility of temperature, generally it is the transformation of one polymorphic form to other or one hydrated form to other. We have different polymorphic forms, alpha and beta. If conversion of alpha to beta form takes place, there is no effect on solubility of temperature. If one hydrated form of a substance changes to other, then also there is no effect on solubility of temperature.